all other protocols observed. It is with great sense of personal humility and gratitude to Almighty God that I warmly welcome you, distinguished leaders and members of our great party, to our historic 2022 convention. I cannot overemphasize the importance of this occasion for our party and our nation. You know as much as I do that the fate of our party depends on what we do here in the next 2 days. I urge us to commit the best practices in party politics by being honest and fair in our dealings, as well as keep our eyes on the ultimate prize, the post-President Muhammadu Buhari presidency in 2023. Since this National Working Committee that I'm privileged to lead assumed office a little over 2 months ago, I have continually harped on the need for our unity. We can do nothing unless we are truly united in thoughts, words, and deeds. Unity is the only glue that can hold our party together. It should go without saying that we cannot go into the general elections next year and expect to remain in Aso Rock without putting our house in order. It does not take rocket science to unite a party. It takes sincerity of purpose, commitment, and determination to sacrifice our individual interests and ambitions for the larger interests of the party in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I confess that I am glad to see that the healing process has just begun. It has been faster than anyone could have predicted. Things are not falling apart. Things are holding up. I am grateful to you all for standing by me and members of the National Working Committee in seeing that we carry out the first order of business in our party, and that is the total reconciliation of all the state branches of the APC that were held hostage by avoidable grievances. The evidence of the new unity of purpose is seen clearly and positively in the conduct of the primaries at local government and state levels. We have thought the conduct of primaries elected candidates for the state houses of assembly, the House of Reps, the Senate, and the state governorship elections for the 2023 general elections. The elections were predominantly peaceful, free and fair to all who participated in them. The results have been accepted by the winners and the losers alike. But I must admit, in all honesty, there are some gray areas which are being addressed, as has been the case in our practice of democracy during elections. I must also confess that efforts are required to work towards perfecting the electoral processes in our great country. This feat would not have been attained without the cooperation of everyone concerned. It is a clear indication that our party has emerged stronger from the grievances. We are united and are speaking with one voice once more. And at the end of the current exercise, we shall begin a steady march towards the 2023 general elections, buoyed by our resolute commitment to win and win big at all levels of elective offices up for contest. I salute all of us. We begin this day the final lap in the preparations towards the 2023 general elections. The leaders and stakeholders in our party are gathered here with us. This is their day, and this is their time. The contest for who flies the flag of the party as presidential candidate has been robust, but generally sober and statesmanlike. We welcome all those who threw their hats into the ring. They are patriots with a zeal to build on the foundation of comprehensive national development laid by President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. The contest for president in all the political parties has heated the polity. It is particularly so with our party, which parades the largest number of aspirants. It is said that in war, as in all serious socio-political contests, truth is the first casualty. It is so in this context. We have watched with growing concern the feeding frenzy in the mainstream media and the irrelevant social media. The general public is daily fed with facts that are no longer fiction about our party and even the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Wild speculations, half-truths, and blatant lies dominate political discourse because they are calculated attempts to mislead the uninformed and excite primordial sentiments. We recognize the people's right to freedom of speech and of the press, but all freedoms impose a measure of responsibility on those who exercise them and how they are exercised. A reckless exercise of that freedom from the high and the low impinges on the rights and responsibilities of all citizens. The struggle for the attainment of political power is a personal and legitimate aspiration, but it must not be the reason to divide our party or tear us apart. The inherent beauty in democracy is that all those who seek the mandate of the people must submit themselves to the judgment of the people in the electoral process. If we were to go by individual self-assessment as a yardstick for best persons for the job, we would not have democracy. We would have instead a government of the self-indulgent by the self-indulgent. It would be a strange form of government unknown to the rest of the world. We should have no desire to give birth to such a strange form of government in our country. In my address to the extraordinary meeting of the National Executive Committee on the 20th of April this year, I drew attention to the need for our party to be disciplined. It bears repeating that a political party such as the APC, the ruling party, at the heart of our national development, must be exemplary in discipline and fidelity to its own core values. Washing our dirty linens in the public is not a mark of courage. It is a mark of irresponsibility. In discipline and in this nation to obey extant rules and regulations and play by them, we have nothing to gain from portraying our party in bad light. We have everything to lose by undermining the integrity of our great party. I found it necessary to make these observations in order to prepare our minds for the conduct of the primaries. It is no easy task, but a task that must be done and done successfully to the satisfaction of all concerned. The successful conduct of the convention will be a feather in the caps of all the leaders and the members of our great party. It will be an achievement shared by all of us and members of one family. This convention is authorized both by party constitution and the extant laws of our great country to conduct our national elections to elect its flag bearer in next year's general election. Many have been called to this forum, but only one man or woman will get the party's endorsement. As they say, many are called, but in this case, only one will be chosen. This will be democracy in action, in the true sense of the phrase. Electoral decisions have inherited disappointments, such that the man or woman considered to be the best does not get the prize. Some of us have been through those crucibles before. It is not strange to us anymore. It is the peculiar way of democracy. I am the first to confess that the choice of a flag bearer is not an easy decision the convention has been called to make, but it is a decision it must nevertheless make. Choosing one out of this glittering army of competent men and women is not just a task, it is a burden. The choice we make has ramification for our party and our country. We cannot afford to make our choice out of sentiments or other primordial considerations. That will only impose on us a wrong choice we might live to regret. In the course of this decision-making process, we may be called upon to make compromises to achieve our core objectives as a party. Democracy, by its nature, permits of such compromises in the spirit of give and take. Indeed, no human society can survive without compromises. Let us not be afraid of making them with clear conscience and a sense of responsibility if need be. Permit me to appreciate our leader, our President Buhari DCFR, for sparing time to interact with primary stakeholders of our party, with our executive governors and flag bearers of our party in our federating geopolitical and administrative entities. Our aspirants, all of them that were cleared by the screening committee, and of course the elders, statesmen and women in our party, all and imbibing in them the spirit of family unity in preparation for this transition convention. The choice we make at this convention must fully reflect our collective commitment to a greater Nigeria. The flag bearer of our party must be a person with proven ability to respond to the challenges of our economic development, the security of our nation, and the effective management of our diversities in order to mold Nigeria into a cohesive whole reflected in our beautiful rainbow collection of tribes and cultures. Our cohesion has never been more important than it is at this stage in our national history. In conclusion, let me once more salute President Buhari for GCFR for his able leadership of both the party and our country. It is my sincere hope and prayer that his successor will be a man or woman who shares his ideals of a new Nigerian nation, forged from his many past eras of the head and the heart. Mr. President, distinguished leaders and members of our great party, I wish us peaceful, successful convention and election. Thank you, and God bless you.